Hey folks, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I want to show you how to add energy to your drums using the Gold Clip plugin. We're going to be adding energy to drums today with clipping, but before we dive in, if you're looking to dial in a repeatable workflow for cranking out professional sounding drum tracks right from your home studio, then you need to go through my 3-step framework for mixing drums workshop. This workshop is going to walk you through the simple 3-step process that I use on almost every single one of my mixes to help you get professional sounding drum mixes right from your home studio. It is a 100% free to watch, on-demand video training, and you can get instant access to that by clicking the link below in the video description. Now let's jump in here and look at clipping for drums. Let me hit play, of course, and show you the finished drum mix for this track at the moment, and then we're going to dive in and use some clipping on the room mic. We're going to add energy through the mono room mic on this drum kit today. So let me hit play. You can hear where our drum mix is currently sitting for this song. So you can hear it's a good sounding drum mix, very clean sounding so far. Our room mic it's a good sounding mono room, but it sounds pretty small. It's pretty low in the mix, just adding some extra energy underneath to our kick drum and a little bit to our snare drum. If we look at the EQ here on our room mic, you can see I'm pulling out all the low mid energy, make sure there's no extra mud coming through, and I'm rolling off most of the super highs and some of the high mids as well, because I don't want to hear a lot of cymbal noise coming through on the room mics. Just a little bit of mid range here for our snare drum, and then some bottom end because I want to add some room punch to our kick drum. But we can enhance our room mic using clipping. So I'm going to pull in the Gold Clip plugin here, post EQ on the room mic here. Now we've got a couple functions we can set up to get some extra energy out of our mono room mic here. First of all, we're going to go for our clipper setting, and we're going to set this to hard. This is going to give us a more aggressive clip tone that we can use to add some extra punch and some extra aggression to our room mic as we pull it up underneath our drum mix here. Now, for the moment, I'm going to set our input and output to length, because the more I push the input, the more I want the output to pull back here. So we're keeping our gain equal in and out here. Now, the other thing I'm going to reach for here is I'm going to change the gold setting for the gold knob here. I'm going to put it on classic. I feel like classic gives me a little bit more depth, and it seems to add some extra weight to the kick drum. So I'm going to set that there. So as I push this up, it's going to give us some heaviness and some extra punch there coming out of our low end. Now for box tone, I'm going to set this to modern. This is going to give us a slight roll off on the top end, But if you look closely, we're going to get some ripple effect coming down towards the high mid. So I'm hoping this will give me some extra crack on the snare drum just from pushing the room mic up into the clipper here. So let me hit play, and we're going to adjust our ceiling here as we push our input up, and we'll also dial up our gold knob here to get some extra energy from that as well. So you can hear just so far by dialing our input and output up and down together, and then adding in the gold knob here, you can hear we're getting some extra depth, some extra weight coming from our drum kit, and the box tone gives us some of that extra crack on the snare drum with the ripple and the high mids as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull the ceiling down past where our input is at, and we're going to get some distortion, some clipping to add some energy to our room mic here. Here, the distortion we're adding in by clipping so hard here. We're doing 9 dB of clipping, so we're pushing 9 dB past our ceiling here. And we're getting that subtle distortion. It's tasteful though. It's not harsh. It's not really aggressive. It's just adding some extra energy into our room mic here. Now we could go further, and let's see what that sounds like. So the farther we pull the ceiling down there, the trashier the sound gets, and it kind of seems to push the room further back. So it pushes the drum sound further back in the room there. That's not necessarily what I want. I could do that if I wanted to try and get a bigger sound out of the room and maybe make it trashier. I don't necessarily want to do that. I just want some of the distortion from the clipping plugin, so we can add some extra energy underneath our drum kit here. So now that we've got our distortion, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the link off here, and I'm going to throw our room mic back into our entire drum kit here. And now what I can do is I can use the output knob as sort of a mix knob. So I can push this up to mix our room mic back into our drum kit here. So it's at the volume where our room mic was before, just adding a little bit of weight underneath our kick drum, some extra crack to our snare drum. But now we've added some subtle distortion here with the clipping plugin, so we can dial this up and see where we end up inside our drum mix. That's sounding really, really nice. You can hear how it's starting to fill out the energy and the sound, the tone of our drum kit overall. The cymbals thicken up a little bit. They don't get harsher, even though we're adding distortion on the room mic here, because our box tone, our modern roll-off here is making sure our cymbals aren't too harsh as we push into the ceiling on the clipping plugin here. It's filling out our tone overall here. Listen one more time as I bypass and unbypass the plugin here. We're adding some fullness to our drum kit, and it's also giving me an extra level of depth on the snare drum because we're pulling up the mono room sound of the snare drum. Now, one thing I do want to look at is see if we can get anything from our Alchemy knob here on Gold Clip. Let's see what this sounds like as we pull this up. It seems to give us some more knock on the kick drum. It's kind of like transient retention, it feels like. We're getting some of the transients back on the kick and the snare drum, even though we're pushing pretty hard into the ceiling on the clipper here. 9 dB clipping, but this knob here is helping us get some of the transients back, some of the punch, some of the click there on the kick drum. So we get some extra knock coming from our drums here. So let's throw this back inside of our drum kit now, and one more time, we'll A-B the gold clip plugin. That's sounding really, really nice inside the mix there. You can hear how the drums beef up a little bit. It fills out the sound of our drums. Really, really cool stuff coming from our gold clip plugin. So one more time here with just our room mic, and then we'll do our drums overall as well here. So whoop, here's just our room mic, and we'll A-B the gold clip plugin, and we'll also throw in, actually we'll start full drums and we'll work our way down to the room mic here. So here is our drum mix overall, and I'll A-B our gold clip plugin inside the drum mix. So if you're looking to add some extra energy to your drums, try a clipping plugin on the room mic of your drum kit. Get some subtle distortion. If you have something like gold clip, you can add some transient retention back, get that extra knock back in. Make sure you have some kind of roll off so the cymbals don't get too harsh, and then add that distorted room back into your drum kit. I hope that was helpful for you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're ready to level up your drum mixes, then you need to go through my 3-step framework for mixing drums workshop. This workshop is going to help you dial in a repeatable workflow for cranking out professional sounding drum mixes right from your home studio, and it is a completely free to watch workshop. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you in the next video.